I want to talk about 2 telltale signs that you are a burned out high achiever. I genuinely believe that high achievers have a unique DNA and a unique drive and a unique psyche and a unique programming that kind of guides us and drives us to act a certain way, think a certain way, and burning ourselves out in a certain kind of way. So I see it all day, every day. And, I feel like I'm quite a bit an expert on burned out high achievers. So I want to jump on here and talk a little bit about that. Okay. There are obviously many signs that you are probably a burned out high achiever. But one of the things that I have been seeing recently, lately, particularly even in my own clients and around me in general, is number one, you have trust issues. You feel paranoid about your coworkers or your roommates, your friends or your social circles, or what other people are saying about you and thinking about you. So here's the thing. When you are a high performer, when you are a high achiever and top performer, you are that because you are naturally obsessed with doing a good job. And you're naturally obsessed with making sure that you don't let people down. So this external focus and this external drive of making sure that you're always doing a good job, making sure that you don't let people down, making sure that you always hit those targets and do a good job for your manager, your boss, whatever, that actually also makes you hyper aware of other people. And when we are constantly now putting our energy and putting our focus out onto other people, all of a sudden what ends up happening is you kind of pull away from yourself, and it naturally starts to make you more paranoid because you're constantly worrying about what other people think. And then that naturally now starts to spiral out and turn into trust issues. And then you start creating stories about what people are saying and what people are thinking. And then you start getting hyper aware of what other people said and what other people did. And then you start making stories up about like what they meant by that and what they're thinking about you. And it could just really start to take over and create a lot of performance anxiety and just a lot of like overthinking and negative self-talk and self-doubt. And so this is very common in high performance. In many ways, it's what drives us and it's what keeps us on our toes and on edge, but it's actually not sustainable. And there is a way that you can still be a high performer and a top performer without this madness, okay, which I'll talk about later, okay? So first and foremost, one of the biggest telltale signs that you are burning out and that you are actually giving away too much, you're doing too much, you're so focused on other people because now it's starting to manifest as these symptoms of trust issues and paranoia and worrying about what other people think about you. 2, you feel fragile. This is something that comes up for me a lot. Like I know when I start to feel fragile and I start to feel like on the brink of tears for no reason, like I know I'm burning out and I know I'm giving away too much, okay? So you feel fragile, you feel emotional, or you feel like crying for no reason and you don't really know why. To me, this is hands down, like shut it down, like you're fucking burned out. If you are feeling like you could crack at any moment and you're feeling like tears on the edge, just in the middle of the day, like that's a wrap. Like you're fucking burned out. You need help. I'm not talking about just taking a day off. I'm not talking about just booking yourself a massage. You're deep in the guts of burnout and you need a way out of this because you've already reached your limit. When you are constantly giving your energy away, when you are constantly giving your time and energy away without checking in with yourself, you will dry out and burn out, obviously. This makes you naturally less resilient and more sensitive in general. And this is a classic setup for feeling emotionally fragile and getting easily triggered at work, at home, in your relationships. And beyond that, if you start to feel a little resentful, or if you start to feel like you're being taken for granted or you're feeling underappreciated, like that's how I know that I'm really burning out. I start to feel a little resentful and I start to feel like they don't appreciate me. No one appreciates all this hard work that I do. Okay. That's when I know I'm like, oh shit, I got to turn it down. Like I'm fucking burned out. So if you are starting to have those thoughts and you are starting to feel underappreciated or undervalued, or you feel like people don't appreciate what you put in and everything that you pour in, it might be a sign that you are actually simply giving too much. So this is where a lot of my clients come to me before they start working with me. They come to me kind of like in this state. And oftentimes they're already on edge and thinking about quitting their jobs, or like looking for a new partner or like ready to like quit it all. That is, to me, it's like, dude, you're fucking burned out. Like that it's not them, it's you. Okay. So before you quit your job, that is actually probably amazing, or maybe not, like, before you go and do something rash, before you burn a bridge, before you break up with somebody that's actually just genuinely a good person in your life, look within. You got to look within and assess how you are tending to yourself first. You see, as high performers and high achievers, we have a lot of blind spots and we override them. We're so good at overriding all of them by like working and like doing the best and doing all the things. And then we end up, on this kind of hamster wheel of burnout as a result of that. Okay. So before you go and quit all the things and before you have a fucking breakdown, pause and look within first. If you need help, that's when you go get help. A lot of people start with therapy, or they might start with a little bit of self-reflection. They might start with a little bit of journaling and things like that. And then after a certain while, if you've already been doing those things, and if you don't feel like you're making a whole lot of progress, you probably need to step it up a notch. And that's just a fact. All right. Don't give up. Okay. There's lots of ways to get help for you out there. I started the same way too. Like I started with basics. I started by like going to see an acupuncturist. I started by going to see a therapist. And then I reached a certain limit and I was like, man, I got to go fucking deeper. There's like so much underneath this hood, and you go deeper and deeper and deeper. And so that's a lot of what I do with my clients as well. We go beyond the knowing, like this is like the what and the why. It's like, oh, okay, like I understand what I'm doing. I see what I'm doing here. I see why I'm doing it. It's because I have this natural tendency to want to like please other people. It might have also been because I had a tiger mom, or, or I might have had a like really, really overbearing, like, high standard dad or whatever. So I still feel that as an adult. Okay, that's great. Now you understand what it is and you understand why you're doing that. But then what are you going to do about it? You still have to change your behaviors. You still have to actually revamp the way that you actually look at your life and the way that you take care of yourself. You have to change the way you think so that you can stop that cycle and that pattern of burnout. You need action steps. You need a roadmap, right? And that is exactly, obviously, what I do with my clients as well. If you are struggling with some burnout and these telltale signs are resonating for you, then obviously pause. A vacation is only going to get you so far. A rest is not the antidote to burnout. It's fulfillment. Okay. It goes much, much deeper than that. Rest is not the cure for your burnout. Okay. It's fulfillment. It's really understanding what fills you up from the inside, deep, deep, deep from the inside, all the way down to your bliss center. These are all the things that I work on with my clients. And if that is some of the help that you want and you are ready for that, then holler at your girl, slide through my DMs, put something in the comments, say me, I'm ready, whatever. And we can have that conversation anytime. I'm here for you. All right. So I hope that was helpful. Let me know what you heard me say. Let me know if you had any takeaways, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.